So to start off my project or the end of the year, I just wanted to say that this project has given me a lot of insight, especially in my leadership role. So this project basically is what I call a quarterly business review. And the reason for this project is that it basically gives us an opportunity to create a report based on some of the pertinent information that's detailed within each of the regions that we work in as a foundation specialist at Genentech. So to go into that a little bit in more depth, our foundation team, we work in different regions across the United States, and basically, um, our team has the opportunity to create these reports for specific offices, specifically our larger offices that have more patients and more demand. So I'm just going to jump right into it. So this is a quarterly business review, and I did edit a lot of the information just because it had a lot of PII information. So this one's a little bit more tailored. So kind of just going over my agenda, I wanted to go over this is the exact similar to the exact presentation that I provided to my team. The definition of QBR definition. We're going to go over the 5 Ws, patients with service request custom, creating graphs for your data, and just providing some examples to my team. And so QBR is a quarterly business review. So this quarterly could be January through March, Q3 through Q4. It could be the entire year. It could be pretty much any time frame that you'd like. This is just a way to identify trends that you notice within your region, um, whether it be positive or negative. And it's also an opportunity to discover your top accounts. And lastly, it's basically just a small snapshot of your region. When you're presenting this information to your field rep or your peers, having a snapshot of your region is just kind of just pointing out what are the major key points and what major callouts. So I always like to start with the 5 Ws. So the 5 Ws is first the questions that you're going to ask yourself is what is going into your project. So the who is going to be who is this for? So this could be for the healthcare provider, it could be for your field reps, or it could be simply for your leadership team. When, like I said before, is just the timeline. So for this specific scenario, I was helping out a specific ophthalmology team for their Q4 reports. And also, they wanted a report to just pull the information for the entire year as well. And moving forward, asking yourself where. So the where question is, what exact region are you going to put into your report, and uh, specifically what exact region you're going to be working with, whether it be which states or office or a specific zip code you wanted to align to, and then moving forward, the why. So you're going to ask yourself, why am I putting this information into the report, or why am I doing this? So generally, I'd say you're just trying, the why I like to ask is, you're trying to identify what's important. What are some of the things that you're noticing? And it's kind of a simple way of kind of forecasting and kind of just thinking ahead. And lastly, the what. So the what is the data needed to be captured within the region. So in this situation, the what could be number of patients. It could be patients with specific government insurance, patients within a certain age range. The list really goes on. So this is just, I'm just going to briefly go over. So this is just a slide that I used. This is where the presentation started to get interactive. So patients with service request custom is just um, one of the systems that we use within Salesforce to help pull up the patient and kind of just have like a template that I helped create, and so that everybody else can be able to use this as well. Moving forward, so after we pull our information and are able to kind of get a grasp on, what the general idea of what our region is starting to look like, we can export this information to a report and save it onto an Excel sheet. And that's where, you can house all of your information, just have a better snapshot of what you're looking at, whether you create a pie graph or a bar chart, kind of just entailing, number of referrals received this month, number of approved patients versus